Off they go in the men's 800 metres now. Let's see if this pace materialises. Pablo Dress on the outside. He is managing to stay ahead of everyone at the moment. Oh, that's Polkowski. He's a wonderful pacemaker himself. He pacemakes a lot on the circuit. And a good runner himself. And there they go. That's the point where the athletes can break. And Ayanza of Ethiopia is an absolute flyer through the first 400 metres here. Under 25 seconds. And the pacemaker, Dries, is doing everything he can to get past the Ethiopian. And Polkowski sticking with the Ethiopian and the pacemaker at the moment. The Polish athlete, I think he's watching here for the danger perhaps of Ayanza slowing slightly. The world indoor qualifying mark, 1:45.9. That'll be the target for the men here in this field. It's swift through the first 400 metres, 51 seconds. Pablo Dries is in control of this field at the moment. He's drifting wide down the back straight. Bahanu Ayanza, the world junior champion from Lima 2024, takes it with 300 metres to go. Ayanza is going to be under all sorts of pressure here from Polkowski. Pelliza of Switzerland just behind him. No sign of Valentini at the moment. The Italian struggling somewhat at the back. A bit of pushing and shoving in the pack. But it's still Ayanza of Ethiopia in the lead. Ivan Pelliza trying to get up the field. He's there in third place in the grey vest. But he's going to have to settle here as they take the final bend. Bahanu Ayanza of Ethiopia looking very, very strong. The world junior champion coming of age here in Valencia. So a wonderful run from the Ethiopian. He's going to win the race. 1:46.9. Controlled that from the front. Ayanza, I mentioned, I don't think he's all that experienced in indoors, but he is now. A great win for Bahanu Ayanza. That's a wonderful feeling. Cutting the tape, crossing the line first. See where Ayanza heads next, see where that confidence takes him. Bahanu Ayanza took the win in the men's 800 metres for Ethiopia, 1:46.41. A really dominant, impressive run from the youngster. Remember that name, Bahanu Ayanza. So no start here from Adriana Montalban of Spain. She was due in lane 1. But for this women's 60-metre final, we do have Lucia Potnik of the Slovak Republic, European finalist at the under-23 level. Nadia Nori Vargas of Venezuela will go in lane 3. South American medalist Samira Kidablu of the United States, the fastest on paper, 7:16, multiple-time NCA finalist. Alongside her, Jael Bastui, carrying the Spanish hopes, Andrea Purica of Venezuela will go in lane 6. Maria Montt of Chile in lane 7. And Laura Martinez of Spain completes the lineup in lane 8. And then, I was going to say, perhaps away too quickly. Was there a twitch from Montt or Purica? Something caught my eye in lane 6 or lane 7. I was looking to Kidablu and Bastui to get the best starts, but it didn't seem like it was them. And with that recall, was it too quick from someone? Here we go, the slow motion replay. I got my eye on lane 7. Oh, Bastui there's a move. There is a twitch from Jael Bastui, the Spaniard in the middle. Let's see what the officials have got to make of this. So a warning, just a warning here to lane 7. Good start from Purica of Venezuela. And good running here from Vargas of Venezuela as well. But Bastui in front of the home crowd streaks across the line. 7:25. She gets the win after a disrupted start, in the end dominating this women's 60 metres here. Great start from Purica and from Vargas, the two Venezuelans flying out of the blocks. But Bastui calm under pressure. Opens up a gap ahead of herself and the two Venezuelans in the last 15 or 20 metres or so. Perhaps that 200-metre endurance that Bastui showed off at those European team championships back in the summer, coming out there towards the end of the race as well. Chemtai of Kenya was 10th in Valencia over the 10,000 metres on the roads, 30:38 just a few weeks ago. Not much experience on the track though. And Miko Maiori of Italy through the gates. This is a bronze level meet on the World Athletics Tour. So decent prize money, plenty of ranking points, and the opportunity at those qualifying marks available today. Twitch on the start line from the women's 3,000 metres, as there was in that women's 60 metres, but it doesn't matter so much here. Just letting the race get underway. Negron straight to the front. So 70 seconds exactly would give you the 8:45 that they're aiming for. Apologies, 70 seconds of course for 400 metres. We are on the short track, we are indoors. That's 35 seconds per circuit. Getting challenged here by Chemtai. That's 2 kilometres, 5:58 through 2K. And Alice Chemtai, clearly talented, that 30:38 on the roads. Not experienced on the track though. I think that's a smart run from the Kenyan. Wait till a kilometre to go. That's much easier to quantify. Good response here from Alibu. Majori of Italy. It is the Italian responded to Chemtai as well. Battle on there. I think it's Lucia Rodriguez. It's well under 9 minutes, 8:53. The European indoor final in Turin back in 2021. The same arena we'll go to for those World Indoor Championships. Rodriguez fighting hard to keep this group of 3 as a group of 4. Nicole Majori, for the first time, strikes for home. So Majori just trying to lift. I'm loving the grit shown here from Alibu of Spain, who led for a few laps there, has been working hard. 3 laps to go. That's a welcome sight in the 3,000 metres. Just 600 metres to go. Nicole Majori, 4:08 last year on the track. I mentioned the 30th at the European Cross Country this year. That circuit in Lagoa in Portugal couldn't be any different than an indoor track. It was so hilly, so twisty, so turny. This indoor track's going to feel simple for Majori in comparison. Alice Chemtai, as the Kenyan got the change of pace. We know she's good over 10k and 5k. A bit shorter, a bit sharper here. Nicole Majori goes through with 400 metres to go, 7:44 or so. Could be well under 9 minutes here for Nicole Majori. I don't think Majori's been under 9 minutes, certainly not indoors in her career, but Nicole Majori at the moment, she just takes a bit of a look over her shoulder. It will be the bell this time for the Italian. Nicole Majori, I think sometimes you take a look back like that and you've got such a big gap. It tells you can take a risk, you can push, because even if you falter, you'll probably be all right. Nicole Majori down the back straight for the final time. Surge in here from Naima Alibu, trying to catch Alice Chemtai. It's the battle for second and third. Nicole Majori this time will see the finish line. She doesn't look behind, just drives. She'll see the clock ticking towards 9 minutes, but it's going to be way under for Nicole Majori of Italy. 8:51. Alice Chemtai holds on for second place. Naima Alibu for third. Nicely judged race for Nicole Majori. 8:51. Dicey off the line here in the women's 3,000 metres. Nicole Majori, you can see that, got herself in a good position off the line. And then throughout the race, it's always very switched on with Alibu and Chemtai tucked in behind the pacemaker. But it was this woman, Nicole Majori, who just bided her time. Just take a moment to wrap up the results of the women's 3,000 metres. Nicole Majori, 8:51. Alice Chemtai, 8:52. Alibu, 8:53. Carlos Sainz, saving him as well. Apologies. Let's have a go. Martin Segurora. But here comes Mariano Garcia, the world indoor champion in 2022, the European champion that year as well. 8th at the World Indoor Championships last year, over 1,500. Adrian Ben had a phenomenal career at 800 metres, 5th in Tokyo at the Olympics, 4th at the World Championships in Budapest, and a real push into the 1,500 for him. He made the final in Tokyo last summer. Perhaps a prequel to that Spanish National Championships that will take place here in a month's time. staying out of each other's way at the moment. There goes Marina Blaudek. I mentioned he's a bit more of an 800-metre specialist. Many performances up to the semi-finals at Europeans and World Champs. Rarely run 1,500 metres for the Croatian here, and you never know when an 800-metre runner steps up. Are they judging it right? 30 seconds through the first 200 metres here. They're not going too quick. The pacemakers bang on here, for my money. Blaudek has got to be thinking, where is everybody else? Why is the 800-metre guy leading the 1,500 metres? There with 3 laps to go. Adrian Ben has been preparing for this race over in Dahlstrom and Potchefstroom in South Africa. Dahlstrom a bit higher. Athletes go there, train at around about 6,000 metres above sea level, and then drop down to Potch where it's a bit warmer, a bit lower, and they can finish off with a bit of faster stuff. We'll see whether Adrian Ben can finish this 1,500 off with a bit of faster stuff. Blaudek digging in. The Croatian trying to hold off Adrian Ben, but there goes Ben with 400 metres to go, and who is right behind him but Mariano Garcia. These men must have raced so many times domestically, internationally. Adrian Ben, he's moved there, a pretty committed move, but he hasn't dropped anybody here. Adrian Ben, very popular winner of the European indoor title in Istanbul back in 2023 after struggling with injuries. Blaudek's going again, trying to get past Mariano Garcia, but that pushes Garcia into the lead. Sometimes you've got to make a move to protect your position. Mariano Garcia, look at that for a change of pace. Garcia responded to the pressure from Blaudek on his shoulder, realised he had to go or he was going to get chewed up in the group. And in doing that, Garcia has made everybody else look ordinary here tonight in Valencia. Garcia kicking for home, looks right, looks left, can't resist a celebration, shuts it down over the line. But 3:37 for Garcia. Like sometimes if you go off somewhere else and you race maybe in Europe, not against your domestic competition, you might just chill, you might just see it as a bit of a time trial, a bit of a free swing. If you're Spanish and you come to this meeting here in Valencia, it's going to be a prequel to those domestic championships as well. There's going to be bragging rights, there's going to be confidence to be gained and lost. Here we go with the women's 800 metres. Maria Frey of Sweden first out. 2:02 last year outdoors. Previous Swedish national indoor champion Julia Jagusic of Poland. That was Lucia Van Canton. Nacho Arroyo out next for Spain. Here we go. Alliston on the outside, as I mentioned, being asked to go through 500 metres in 73 seconds. She's streaking away with it there on the outside. Andrea Rodriguez trying to go with her. Daniela Garcia, as I mentioned, the former European under-23 champion. Certainly one to watch. Nacho Arroyo, an interesting athlete as well. Former 400-metre runner, moved up to 800 metres very successfully. Perhaps a surprise winner of the Spanish outdoor title last year. Well under 30 seconds here for the first 200 metres. Alliston flying through the first 300 metres here, 43 seconds or so for the pacemaker. For the first time she looks over her shoulder. Perhaps the Bath about realising they're drifting off the 2-minute pace, the magical 2-minute barrier. Pacemaker's doing good, 59 seconds here. Bath about setting herself up, leading the rest of the athletes behind her. Jagusic of Poland in second place. Go through 500 metres. The pacemaker did exactly what she was asked for. Barthabal, former Jagusic. And there is Arroyo, mentioned the former 400 metre athlete, probably still getting to grips with the pacing. Slowed through 600 metres, just 1:33 for the leaders. Barthabal, she's put herself out here. She's got to just push Barthabal if she wants to take this win here. Rocio Arroyo looking dangerous as they go with 100 metres to go. Well, she saved something here because there's athletes coming back into the race as every 20 or 30 metres goes by. Barthabal swings wide to protect the outside from Jagusic and leaves the inside open for Arroyo. Barthabal will relive that home straight over and over again. It was a natural move to step out to block the Polish woman, and in doing that, Rocio Arroyo, the patience shown by her, just to stick there on the inside and wait for her moment. In the end, there was plenty of space for Arroyo. As the confirmed result of the women's 800 metres, Rocio Arroyo 2:04.15, Aurea Barthabal 2:04.30. Yulia Jagusic 2:04.31, so very tight between second and third. Final few moments, preparation for this men's 60-metre hurdles final. They qualified about an hour and a half ago. Enrique Llopis was fastest in qualification with 7:56 in the opening round. As he settles into his blocks here, he's joined by his training partner Kevin Sanchez in lane 1, Mario Ravenga in lane 2, Nicola Giacoloni in 3, Christoph Rumtusios of Greece in lane 4, Llopis centre stage in lane 5, Sineros in 6, Sirodzki of Poland in 7, and Garcia, the final Spaniard, out in lane 8. Race, the first hurdle goes to Enrique Llopis. Good start from Ravenga in lane 2, but Llopis is away. Look how snappy he is over the hurdles. Llopis all the way to the line, slightly faster than his opening race, perhaps 7:53 for Llopis. It's perhaps slightly underwhelmed by that, Llopis. But these athletes, they try and test different things when they go in for those warm-up and warm-downs between the races. Jakub Szymanski, still the European lead with 7:48. And Llopis, 7:50 that day in Luxembourg, so he's not quite as snappy as he was a couple of weeks ago, Llopis, but he looks absolutely brilliant. Was it him hitting that last hurdle? We'll get a look at this front on view. There's Llopis in red, the star of this field in lane 5. 1, 2, hit the second, hit the third, and hit the fifth. Okay, so a bit scrappy there from Llopis. There's the confirmed results of the men's 60-metre hurdles. Enrique Llopis, 7:53. Daniel Cisneros, 7:73. Christos Rumtsios, 7:81.
Hi, I'm Manu Duplantis. Subscribe to the European Athletics YouTube channel down below.